I'm George Shorney, president of Hope Publishing Company. Our first hymnal was published in 1892, so the Worshiping Church is the newest of a long line of hymn books produced by our company for the churches of North America. This new book began to take shape in 1984 when a committee of 26 well-known church musicians, pastors, and educators was organized under the direction of editor Donald P. Hustad. The committee came together periodically over the next 6 years to facilitate the process and to help give the Worshiping Church its wings. We started by developing a new page format. A major emphasis was placed on enlarging the text, which we believe is the easiest to read and the most legible of any hymnal on the market today. Many other innovations were adopted which helped set this hymnal apart in concept, content, and style as a book for the 90s and beyond. None of this could have happened without the vision and direction of its editor and the encouragement and support of the 26 consultants mentioned earlier. This video will help give you a chance to meet them and to help catch some of the excitement we have for this new hymnal. At this point, I would like to introduce you to the editor, without whom the Worshiping Church would not have happened. Professor, scholar, organist, hymnologist, composer, lecturer, what have I forgotten? Donald P. Hustad. Don?
Thank you, George. The release of a new hymnal is an exciting occasion because it provides another link in the long chain of books through which the church offers its praise to God and rejoices in its faith. The Hope Publishing Company has supplied many new hymn books during the 100 years of its history. Occasionally, a new hymnal comes along which is truly revolutionary. We believe that the Worshiping Church is such a book because of its comprehensive nature in theological coverage and in both poetic and musical styles. Furthermore, it combines the timeless hymns of history with a wide variety of contemporary expressions.
I was delighted to see the variety of hymns that are included in the Worshiping Church. Hymns from all ages, hymns from all cultures, the heritage that is represented by evangelicals from all around the world and from ages past. This book is truly a book for the Worshiping Church and includes the traditions not only of today's church in America, but of the church worldwide and of all ages.
The thing I find most important in a hymn is its singability. It's got to be able to be sung by a wide range of people within the congregation. The folk-like tunes, as well as the true folk tunes, are really very singable. Several of the settings are interchangeable with other texts, and new meaning comes in because of those new texts. There are also the historic music styles that are there. There are the old settings of psalms. There are the German chorale types. There are the 19th century hymn songs. And there are the authentic American tunes.
Obviously, a new hymnal needs to contain a large number of hymns and songs that are familiar to the congregation which uses it. But each generation needs also to voice its worship in fresh words and new music to demonstrate that the gospel of Jesus Christ is relevant today. The Worshiping Church has profited from what has been called the hymn explosion, which has recently given us hundreds of new hymns from excellent writers in the United States, Canada, and Great Britain. In addition, there is a bountiful supply of popular congregational songs in many styles, including the short chorus hymns that are often words of Scripture. These popular forms are logical successors of the gospel hymns which have characterized American church life for almost 200 years and are still being sung.
One of the strengths of the Worshiping Church hymnal is the abundance of new hymns in a traditional style. We all want to leave our generation and the next with a legacy of good hymnody, not just the old hymns, but new ones for our time. Writers such as Margaret Clarkson, Timothy Dudley Smith, and Brian Jeffrey Leach, as well as others, have written solid poetry and prose with an intelligent evangelical approach. It is our challenge to teach those to our generation and to the next generation as well. No one argues about the timeless truths of hymns like Praise to the Lord the Almighty or A Mighty Fortress is Our God, but we need that caliber of hymn today, and I believe it can be found in the Worshiping Church Hymnal.
I'm very excited about the new or contemporary hymns that are in the Worshiping Church Hymnal, but I'm also very excited about what Dr. Hustad has often called the little hymns, the shorter songs, more contemporary gospel songs and worship and praise choruses. They're based on the same theological beliefs or the same biblical passages as the longer hymns, and that's why they're so important to the church to sing. They're very simple for us to sing. Some of these shorter songs are well-known, almost classics already. Some of them are new ones and strong scripture choruses, and I'm very pleased that they've been included in this wonderful hymnal for the church family to sing together, not just on Sunday, but to take home through the rest of the week.
With all of its innovation and up-to-date content, the Worshiping Church nevertheless retains much of our traditional gospel song heritage. Among these are What a Friend We Have in Jesus, In the Garden, Fanny Crosby's Blessed Assurance, Jesus is Mine, Onward Christian Soldiers, the old Swedish favorite Day by Day, When We All Get to Heaven, Like a River Glorious, To God Be the Glory, and Wonderful Grace of Jesus.
The Worshiping Church is a hymnal for the evangelical community. That is, the churches that insist on biblical theology, whose members understand what is meant by a personal relationship with God. However, it has often been noted that evangelicals do not always sing their full theology. This hymnal reflects clearly their understanding of Christian doctrine in this last decade of the 20th century. Many important categories of Christian doctrine have been strengthened, and new ones have been added. Theologically, this is the most complete hymnal ever released by Hope Publishing Company.
There are many hymns about areas of emerging concern in the life of the church and of individual Christians. For instance, there are hymns about the care of God's world, about ecology. There are hymns about work and study and leisure. There are hymns about art and science and education. And there are hymns that help us to understand the ministry of every Christian and of the church.